I try,
So far,
all of these guys, I try to work them into mine, but it's very difficult.
Hard.
And Kane, yes, he has a lot of goals. We expect him to get a lot of goals. A lot of them were penalty kick goals. And Haaland, the one difficult game that they had was on match day 1, and it was 0-0 against Inter. And then Sparta Prague, Slovan Bratislava, with all due respect, guys. It just doesn't do it for me.
Two top 4 teams that just don't.
Right. So I really wanted to recognize those players that have gone above and beyond this Champions League season, that has Monaco in a top 8, that has Brest in a top 8.
Let's take a look at points by league in Champions League this season. So the Premier League have the most with 32, but Ligue 1 at 31, Serie A with 22, Bundesliga 20. They have 5 teams competing in Champions League as well. Keep that in mind. And La Liga with 18 points. But we all did it. We all came up with something. So, Charlie, you're going to kick us off?
Yes.
What do you got?
All right, so
Let's see.
Emi Martinez.
Hey!
Without a doubt, the best goalkeeper at the moment. I mean, there's been, 5 teams with clean sheets so far, 0 goals against: Aston Villa, Man City, Inter, Arsenal, and Atalanta. But it's Emi Martinez who has, I think, had the best performances, given they've played at Young Boys, Bayern, and Bologna. Very difficult schedule, as they are a pot 14. Across the back 4, it was difficult to not have a Manchester City player in the team. So Gvardiol has been the standout in terms of the back line. Van Dijk, obviously. Liverpool have conceded 1, but 9 points from 3 matches. So Van Dijk, Saliba, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I was looking for a right back. This took some time, but top of the table, and for me, Trent Alexander-Arnold has done well. In the midfield, Gravenberch, Florian Wirtz, and Tielemans. Aston Villa have been phenomenal the first 3, and Tielemans has played a crucial role in every single match. Vinny Jr., Kane, and Rafinha. Vinny Jr., Rafinha, it goes without saying. Rafinha is putting up incredible numbers. He's in the form of his life at the moment. Vinny Jr. still has 3 goals. Even though Madrid are stuttering, I wouldn't put it all on Vinny Jr., and Vinny Jr. is class. And this is the one, Kane. He's got 3 penalty kicks,
but
right? But he's top of the list when it comes to goal scoring in Champions League.
Goals
so
are
for
goals.
me, 5 goals is 5 goals. He's at the top. So
Chuck,
I went Harry Kane.
Ligue 1 alum, and you don't even put one French player
I
in
don't see
there?
a French dude on
Saliba?
there.
Did Saliba play in Ligue 1?
No.
He played in Ligue 1.
Arsenal.
He
One
played
Ligue 1
9
player.
Champions League. He didn't play Champions League for Ligue 1.
He played.
For
France.
Saint-Étienne.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of positions that you could say. In the midfield, Gravenberch has been phenomenal for Liverpool. And Florian Wirtz is obviously a magician. And Tielemans, I think over the past 3 match days, he's been so good for Aston Villa.
Tielemans got relegated with Leicester, right? Crazy.
Look at
playing
him
in the
now.
Champions League on one of the best teams.
Look at him now. Who'd have thunk it?
Top of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Alexis, how does yours compare to
Not that
Chelsea's?
different.
Okay.
Midfield and backline, there's a couple changes. So if you want to pull mine up, I went with the exact same front line: Vinny, Kane, Rafinha. You got to give a nod to the guy who's got the most goals in the competition, whether they're penalties or not. Let's go midfield. I needed to find a way to get Musiala and Wirtz in there. I just think they're both so dynamic. Tons of goals and assists. Concacaf is the one player that didn't play 3 matches that I still put in there, because I thought to myself, I need a little bit of defensive help here. And I know he tracks back very well, because I know Musiala and Wirtz aren't going to do that. So I found a way to squeeze
A little bit. You like a little bit. You know what? You're just going to tell him, you know what? Just forget everything you do.
If you see trouble, run back. That's all I need there. As far as the back line, Stones and Gvardiol, I think, speak for themselves. Emi Martinez also is pretty obvious. Jimsiti and Vanderson. I was between Saliba and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and these two. So I thought, let me switch it up a little bit. Just give a little love to Atalanta, who are obviously having an incredible campaign, and I think Vanderson also have an incredible campaign so far in the first 3.
For Monaco.
Yeah, for Monaco. In the first 3 match days.
Yes, he assisted in a really big game against Barcelona.
Exactly.
He was good in that in match day 1.
Can you help me understand why you don't have any Liverpool players in the team?
Someone's going to leave out. Someone's going to be left out.
No, but
There's
they're
11
They're
positions.
top of the table after 3 match days. You don't have one player.
Who's top of the table?
They're 9
Aston
points.
Villa is.
Aston Villa, Liverpool,
Yeah.
9
Yeah.
points from 3 matches.
Yeah.
Aston Villa's only on
Could you tell me
top
why you don't
because
have any
Golden
league
Voice.
on
Because
players?
Alexis
Yeah.
hates me.
Yeah.
No,
He
but
doesn't.
I'm just curious because if you have a team that's
I don't have any Manchester City players.
Well, I tried my hardest to get one. I think Ligue is having an incredible campaign. We saw how many points that league has had. I wanted to give them a little nod, which is why I put Van der
I wonder
Sar
if
in
you
there.
put Singo in your center back.
Oh, I was almost thinking about it for mine.
No.
Right?
No.
Who's next? Come on, Sue.
Let's do
Me.
this.
So I tried
It's
to
the
be
Liverpool starting
very,
11.
very equitable.
And balanced.
Very equitable.
So impossible.
And even, yes, because I wanted to give credit to a bunch of the Ligue 1 teams who are doing really, really well. So I tried to kind of spread the love
Okay.
and the wealth with my
So
starting
anti-Charlie,
11.
if you will.
Kind of, yes. And yes, there are a couple Liverpool players, but I think it's because they are very deserving of being in the best 11. So let's take a look
All right.
at my Champions League best 11. So, yeah. My back, I felt the same about getting a City player in there. I felt like I should, so that's why Akanji's on there. But I gave some love to Alexander Ba from Benfica, who has a goal. I put Alex Grimaldo from Leverkusen on there, Verge and Akanji as the center backs, and then Gravenberg, as Charlie said, I think he's been absolutely fantastic. Takumi Minamino for Monaco has a couple goals and an assist. And he's been really, really good. Also a former Liverpool player, so there's still a connection there. Florian Wirtz has been outstanding. Obviously, Rafinha. I put your boy, Nico, up top. Gyökeres, who's got a couple goals and assists. And then I put Abdallah Sima from Brest with
Okay.
3 goals.
Okay,
He's got
Sus.
3 goals.
I really like that. I really like that in your team. That's
It's just, I wanted to, again, make it equitable.
yeah.
I feel like you were fair with the amount of Liverpool you sprinkled in here.
Yeah, and honestly, I will tell you, I had a hard time choosing between, I knew I wanted a center back, either Verge or Konate, and I struggled because I thought
Yeah.
they have both been
I didn't consider Konate because he's injured.
so good.
But just
Yeah.
this past weekend.
I just thought if I'm going to make an 11, it's players that
Yeah.
can start. That's just the way I went with him. Made my
Konate's
decisions
been
a little bit tougher.
sensational.
But Konate has been
Like
one
now
of
that you
the
bring him up,
most
it just-
important players.
It
So
feels like we always talk about Van Dijk, Van Dijk, but Konate, the work that Konate does, not only defensively.
I know.
Again,
Right,
I
but you
insist
can't
with
put
his distribution.
both
is-
Van Dijk
No,
and
no, yeah,
Konate,
it's
and
fine.
Van Dijk is better than Konate.
There were a lot of options
There were a lot
on the
of-
back line.
yeah.
A lot of good
For
options.
goalkeeper, the only other option I think was Raya because he's been sensational
Correct.
for Arsenal.
Yeah.
A lot
Then
of clean sheets, all 3.
Salah has been very good.
Mm-hmm.
Ederson at Atalanta has been very, very good. Lewandowski
Yeah.
with Barca. Çalhanoğlu. Singo at Monaco. Paul Torres with Aston Villa. Zico Lewis has been a standout with
Adeyemi also
Manchester
can get
City.
a shot. Probably not over Kane, Vinny, or Rafinha.
Yeah, Gittins.
Yeah, Gittins as well.
Gittins is a good one. I try
So far, I like this
all of these
format.
guys. I try to work them into mine, but it's very difficult.
Hard.
And Kane, yes, he has a lot of goals. We expect him to get a lot of goals. A lot of them were penalty kick goals. And Haaland, the one difficult game that they had was on match day 1, and it was 0-0 against Inter. And then Sparta Prague, Slovan Bratislava. With all due respect, guys, it just doesn't do it for me.
Two
And-
top 4 teams that just don't.
Right. So I really wanted to recognize those players that have gone above and beyond this Champions League season that has Monaco in a top 8, that has Brest in a top 8. So without further ado, this is my 11 with Dibu Martinez in net. Frimpong, Saliba, Bastoni. I had to give a credit to Inter because they're one of the better defensive teams in Champions League so far. And I know, sure, whatever. I just put him at left back. He's a left-footed player. Whatever. Just let me be happy. And then Zeno de Bast. The only reason why I'm putting Zeno de Bast in there is because he scored the best goal of the Champions League so far on match day 1 against Lille. It was a rocket ship from like 35 yards. It was the Ronaldo goal against Porto for all intents and purposes from a center back. So fully deserved to be in the best 11. The balance in the midfield between Casado and McAllister, I'm loving it. And then Akliush, your attacking midfielder. I know he's more of a winger, but I wanted him to work in there because I have Kerem Aktürkoğlu, who's been at Benfica, scoring a lot of goals, almost unexpectedly so. Not too many people had this guy that came from Galatasaray over into into the Portuguese league, scoring this many goals, and he has delivered in Champions League. And we know Rafinha and Abdallah Sima, you mentioned them, Sus. I know he's more of a out on the left type of guy, but put him
Yeah,
up
I
top.
took some liberties with
Yeah, no.
guys were.
My only thing
Rafinha kind of floats around.
Yeah.
with some like Bastoni, he didn't play all 3 games, like start.
I needed
Yeah,
him.
I did
so
make sure all those
dynamic.
guys have played every
Yeah,
single
but
match.
because of that young boys game,
Well, there's a lot of players that are rotated.
they rotated that
Yeah.
game, but I needed somebody from Inter on the left. And I wanted Bastoni
I don't think
because
I
I'd
have
take
any Inter.
Bastoni.
What's one name you're all
Carlos
shocked that
Augusto
we didn't
played
see
all
on
3.
any of these? Igor Paixão. I hope I'm pronouncing that
Yeah.
correctly. From
Feyenoord.
I thought
Did
he would
any
be
of
in
us have
somebody's.
Holland?
None.
None
I
of us had
think
Holland.
based on the performance in the first 3 match days and the competition they've been up against, I don't know that he deserves to be in a best 11.
I thought I was going to
just
see
yet.
a Girassi.
Girassi,
Yeah.
Gittins. I really wanted to work Jonathan David in, and I know it's just 2 penalty kick goals and a deflected
Yeah.
goal, but important nonetheless. He's the team's top goal scorer in the Champions League of all time.
Honestly, based on the way they're performing, I think it'd be a crime not to have a Ligue 1 player in your best 11. Terrible.
Yeah, Chuck.
Especially if you played in that league. It'd be crazy. Could you imagine that?
Who are you going to put him over?
I mean, you got to find a way to fit one of them in there.
Oh, man, we've got so much to look forward to today. Champions League Match Day 4. It returns this week, so does Golazo Match Day crew. Poppy Miller, Nico Cantor, Nigel Rio-Coker, Mike Grella. They're going to bring you all the action and analysis from Europe's top club competition. Coverage kicks off at noon on Golazo Network as we build up to Malik Tillman, Ricardo Pepi, and PSV welcoming Girona and Dinamo Zagreb's trip to Slovan Bratislava. And then later at 2:30 on the Golazo Network, Scottish champs Celtic host Leipzig, who are hoping to bounce back after the weekend loss at Dortmund. Coverage wraps up at 7 with Champions Club recapping the whole day of action.